Hello everybody and welcome back to Clownfish TV. It is me, Geeky Sparkles, and for this video it is only me. Someday me and Neon are going to meet up again and be together in these videos, but today was not that day. So we're going to talk about the fact that, oh shocker, Brie Larson's being a diva again. You don't say! I am so surprised. I can't believe this is actually happening, says no one. Yeah, so Brie Larson apparently, the rumors are flying. I'm going to stress this is a rumor. Nothing's confirmed, but they're not going to confirm it. Come on. Brie Larson apparently is being quite the little diva over the fact that it's called The Marvels and not Captain Marvel 2 because she thought she was going to be the main star and it was going to be, she was Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel was the bestest ever, was going to come in and, you know, run everything and take over until, you know, she keeps running her mouth and then people keep turning off to it. But, you know, here we are. So before we get into it any further, please like and subscribe. I think we're 297,000. We're so close to 298, almost to 300,000. I think when we get 300,000, we're going to do some kind of big live stream. We don't usually do that, so it'll be nice. It'll be a nice thing to do. Yeah, so anyway, I was away most of the day and then I came back and I saw this going on and I have to laugh because Brie Larson, I cannot stand Brie Larson. I've said this before and it has nothing to do with Captain Marvel. It has something to do with, you know, people are like, oh, you just hate women and everything else. It's like, no, I just don't like Brie Larson. She was secondary in her own film. She was the least likable character in her own film. And I get that that was the character was partly like bitchy, but there's like, you know, bitchy but still likable. And then there was that. And I just don't like Brie Larson. We were going to buy a car and I refused to buy a Nissan because we looked at the Rogues and I refused to buy one for the simple fact that she was the spokesperson for Nissan and I had wanted nothing in it. And that is a true story. We instead bought a Kia because I was not going to buy a Nissan if Brie Larson was the one, you know, who's the spokesperson for it because I just can't stand her. And then she's like doing the Drop the Taco commercial and that was around the same time. And I was like, this is so like, you know, shit. I'm not supporting this. Anyway, back to the movie. So this is coming from Fandom Wire. And they're saying that the Marvels reportedly is a shit show, entire project in trouble, and Brie Larson's mad they're not calling Captain Marvel 2. So we already know it's gotten pushed back. And I'm the one that brought up this, had 5 different release dates. It's been moved 4 different times. And they keep saying, oh, it's because, you know, the special effects. It's because, you know, they had to do reshoots, which I'm hearing that it's reshoots too. Now they're saying that the set, again, rumor, that on set was a nightmare and it got pushed back because of Brie Larson being Brie Larson. So they said that many changes have been happening with Marvel Studios in the lead up to Phase 5 and 6 and blah, blah, blah. Phase 4 sucked. Yeah, we know. They said a bunch of delays, including The Marvels, aka Captain Marvel 2, which has been postponed to November. They literally swapped it out with The Haunted Mansion, okay? So apparently, according to the above-the-line writer Jeff Schneider, Marvel Studios may be in trouble. The journalist speaking in the Hot Mic podcast said that the recent developments regarding delays of the film releases have thrown the franchise into chaos. Yeah, that's why. With specific reference to the Marvels, the writer stated that the failure of a few Phase 4 films as the reason for it to have been postponed twice already. Yes, because remember, they were going to go with the MCU and it did not go very well. And then they're going to obviously blame all the toxic masculinity and blah, 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 blahism, blah, 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 phobia. And the kicker is a lot of people who aren't white, straight male don't like these movies either. And I'll tell you what, I'm taking a little tangent here for a minute. And I know a lot of people who also are not white and straight male will understand this as well. I am so sick and tired of the fact that they keep promoting that, oh, it's only men who hate it. It's only racists that hate it. It's only misogynists that hate it or whatever. And then you say, well, wait, I'm a woman. I also didn't like it. I don't like it because of these reasons. Well, you're just an internalized misogynist, or they step over you and pretend you don't exist. Women are marginalized. It's not fair. So we have a woman who doesn't agree with our opinion. So we're going to further marginalize her. Or a person who is not straight, or a person who is not white, that doesn't agree with their opinion. on something related to their gender or race, you know, or sexual orientation or whatever. And then they're like, oh, but, you know, we're going to step over you because we only want to hear and support the people that agree with us, which is shitty. I'm sorry. I'm so tired of hearing that. Everybody loves this. Everybody loves, you know, Captain Marvel. Everybody loves, you know, She-Hulk and all this shit because, you know, if you don't, you're misogynist or women love it. No, we don't. Some do. And if you do like it, you know what? That's cool. You are allowed to like it. I always say that you're allowed to like it, but you're allowed to not like it as well. And I'm tired of you're already treated like shit enough, and then you're stepped over again by the people saying they're defending you when you disagree with them. It's really, really, really insulting, and that's more misogynistic, istophobic than anything. So anyway, the stuff didn't do well in Phase 4, and they're trying to rethink some of the stuff for Phase 5. So, Schneider went on to add that the film star Brie Larson was apparently unhappy with the movie being titled The Marvels as opposed to Captain Marvel 2. This meant that the Room actor would have to share the prominence with Teyonah Parris, who plays Monica Rambeau. You remember who people wanted to be Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau. And Iman Vellani, who plays Kamala Khan in the film. While Monica Rambeau was a prominent character in the TV series WandaVision, Kamala Khan was the protagonist of Ms. Marvel, yes, on the Disney Plus show. So they're putting them together, and that's why they're calling it the Marvels, because they put all the Marvel people with Marvel in their name. Well, she, you know, Photon isn't Marvel, but you know, whatever. She's tied to it because her mom was friends with her, and they're putting it together for this film. And apparently, Brie Larson's pissed because it's not the Brie Larson show. And, okay, I kind of get it on one hand because if she was pitched the idea that she'd be leading this and she'd have these movies and stuff, I get it. But, again, when you have a contract, things change and it's still called Marvel and you're still the lead in it. It's just, you're not the only lead. And this is also, if this is true, this is the same woman who had a shit fit and said she didn't want men to keep their, you know, their ideas and thoughts to themselves, and like it went on about how we need to have more chairs at the table. Remember, we need more chairs at the table. We need more diversity. We need more women. We need more inclusion. We need more chairs. But what she meant was, we need chairs as long as they aren't my chair. I'm gonna be the head of the table, and I'm bringing the chairs in as long as you know I'm the head of the table. Now that we got other women coming in that are representative, and we're putting the movie with me to have like a yay, go girl power movie. If this is true, Brie Larson's not happy about it, even though she got exactly what she said she wanted. More chairs at the table, more diversity, and that's what she claims she was wanting, and she wanted to get rid of all the white guys and all that. You got what you wanted. I don't understand why you'd be mad about this. Okay? So that's not all. They're saying that there's an ego clash between Brie Larson and Teyonah Parris. And the post-production issues will be the special effects and that kind of crap. And they'll probably have to redo reshoots. And then they're talking about Nia DaCosta's lack of experience in a mainstream blockbuster. Yeah, so that's a new trend of late because they keep wanting to say, oh, diversity, inclusion, girl power, whatever. They keep bringing in these people who don't have the experience to be doing these films, or their experience is of a different type of film that really doesn't lend itself to Marvel. And all I keep thinking of is, remember what happened with Star Wars under Rian Johnson? Well, that's kind of what we got with the Eternals. You know, we got somebody in there who does great films, and they're good on their own, but they don't get Marvel. And that's why we had the disaster that was the Eternals. And they kept promoting this stuff like, oh, Thor 4, it's going to be Love and Thunder, but it's going to be, Thor and Lady Thor and all this other stuff. And it's all about, ladies, women. We're going to snap our fingers and Thor's clothes are going to blow off and all this shit. And they keep targeting people, but they keep thinking that they know what audiences want. Because we're women, we want girl power. It's like, well, yeah, women want organic girl power. But, we just want good movies that have characters we know and love. Sometimes you want to watch these movies because you want to see the guys in the movie. You want to see the hot guys. I mean, maybe you didn't want to see Thor without his clothes on. Maybe you did. But no one wants to see these characters just played for laughs just because they're different gender. If you switched anything out, like that you would say was a problem with a character that was female or a minority or something else, and then you did the same thing to a dude, it's still shit. It doesn't make it any better. It's just because you just justify it because it's a guy. And it's like, that's dumb because it still sucks. Anyway, back to this. So they're talking about apparently, these guys are fighting. Monica Rambeau and Carol Danvers are fighting. Let's just get Rogan there and call it a day. And that's what's going on there. And people are talking about this rumor, okay? So this is coming from the direct. This is Fandom Wires talking about it. So not to be outdone, here comes We Got This Covered. I have to laugh because it's funny. So we got this covered's take on. Now it's coming from several places, right? Several pop culture journalism sites. Again, it's all rumor. Everybody's acknowledged that, okay? Reports of Brie Larson acting like a diva on shit show sequel The Marvels has trolls rubbing their hands in glee. Okay, everybody, stop what you're doing. Take a moment. Now join with me. Rub your hands in glee. Come on, rub them up. Just rub them with glee. Just enjoy that moment of rubbing them in glee just to give We Got This Covered something so they can make sure that their stories are actually true. So we get down here and they're talking about how, the trolls, oh my God, the trolls. One of the earliest conspiracy theories to engulf the Marvels was the title of Captain Marvel's sequel was changed. Yes, to stem the tide of backlash and bile being thrown in the direction of Brie Larson. Because Brie Larson keeps sticking her foot in her mouth. She keeps saying really stupid, entitled things. And that's why people don't like her. And I want to remind We Got This Covered that she took a lot of shit too because she was shilling NFTs. And people that, you call trolls were actually ones who went to her defense and been like, hey, I'm not necessarily agree with her on NFTs, but, she has the right to do it. And everybody who was worshiping her turned on her. So, whatever. So they said, while it is inevitable that a lot of people would instantly jump to that conclusion based on the reaction to what might just be the Marvel Cinematic Universe's single most polarizing installment, a salacious new report, I hate that word, salacious, from Jeff Snyder on the Hot Mic podcast has gone ahead and dumped a barrel of gasoline onto a fire that was barely simmering beforehand. Oh, hell no, it was simmering. People have not liked Captain Marvel and Brie Larson. I am sorry if you don't like to hear that. They haven't. It was already on fire. Then you have the phase 4 of Marvel, which was so much crap. You had a couple good ones in there. Spider-Man. You had, I think, Doctor Strange. I wanted to be better than it was, but it still wasn't a dumpster fire as much as it could have been. And I don't think, I've said before, Shang-Chi was really good. Contrary to Simu Liu, saying that we said otherwise. We said it wasn't. It was actually a pretty good movie. We thought Disney shafted it on advertising and promotion because they were trying to save Eternals. But Simu Liu is an asshole. So, I expect it from him. He's another one of these. I actually think he might be worse than Brie Larson, and that's saying something. I mean, the guy his head's so far up his ass. It's ridiculous. We should point out, this is my favorite part. We should point out that the tales behind the scenes, have yet to be corroborated by anyone at Marvel. That's not gonna be. Marvel's not gonna come out and say, hey, you know what, fam? Yeah, Brie Larson's a bitch and they're all fighting. And Teyonah Parris and her just can't get along. And it's a diva fest. And, it's like an estrogen-fueled nightmare of epic proportions. Hot damn, we shouldn't have gone with the MCU. We're sorry. They're not gonna come out and say that. Of course they're not. They're not going to admit that. If it's true, you're never going to hear it from Marvel. Come on. I mean, We Got This Covered. Really? Really? The trolls will be rubbing their hands in glee nonetheless. Again, take this moment. Rub your hands in glee. I'll give you a few seconds. Okay. After Snyder claimed that not only have there been heated disagreements between award-winning star Larson and newcomer Teyonah Parris, but the leading lady is allegedly upset that The Marvels was chosen as the film's title at the expense of the MCU's typical superhero name. Insert subtitle here formula that keeps Carol Danvers' alter ego out of the nomenclature. I'm like, I get it. I mean, she thought she was going to get a Captain Marvel too. Okay. I do understand where she's coming from on that, but it makes so much more sense to call it the Marvels when you have everybody associated with Marvels. You know, you have Ms. Marvel who kisses Carol Danvers' ass and loves Captain Marvel, which is one of the reasons I didn't watch Ms. Marvel, because I didn't want to see this girl fangirling. And I like the girl who plays her, and I didn't want to watch her fangirling over such a piece of shit the whole way through a show. And then, you know, I did like Teyonah Parris. I did like her quite a bit in WandaVision. I thought she should be, you know, Captain Marvel and call it a day. But, you know, you have her related because her mom was friends with, you know, Carol Danvers. So, I mean, she's not really technically a Marvel, but the Marvels make sense, you know, given the names. I can see where she's mad, but I also think that that's being kind of petty. And then she keeps wanting to be in Star Wars, apparently. Brie Larson wants to go there. I'm like, you're already ruining, you know, Marvel. Please, for the love of God, don't let her anywhere near Star Wars. I'm like, and a lot of her issues with the backlash has been self-inflicted. Like, she wouldn't go out there with her petty hot takes. She wouldn't have got so much backlash. And a lot of people went to see Captain Marvel, and I think Disney's starting to realize this, because they thought they had to before they had to see Endgame. And they, you know, it did tie in. So that's why a lot of people came to the theaters. There also was a lot of tickets and theaters that were sold out, but then they had pictures of theaters that were empty. And, you know, I know when we went to see stuff, it wasn't that busy. And there's a cat. Anyway, the cat doesn't like Brie Larson either. We just don't like her here. And then she just says really shitty things. But then the one thing she kept saying over and over again was she wanted this bigger table. She wanted more chairs to the table. She wanted diversity and inclusion. And she wanted these people to have voices in front of the camera and behind the camera and all this stuff that she made a big deal about. But I guess the part was that she was the lead at the table, and you have to understand you're beneath her because she got what she asked for. And if this is true, she's pissed about it. Which to me is like, so ironic. I can't even. I'm just going to have to rub my fingers and my hands with glee and call it a day. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.